Alright guys, analyst says what is coming for XRP will be massive. What if I told you that the quietest periods in the crypto market are actually the most dangerous times to look away? Right now, as the broader market experiences a phase of calm, a historic signal is flashing for XRP. A top market analyst has just pointed to a technical structure that hasn't been seen in this exact alignment for years. If you are holding digital assets, you know that waiting can be frustrating. But history shows that true wealth is made when you recognize a pattern before the rest of the world wake up to it. So in this video, we are breaking down a highly unique repeating blueprint that could redefine XRP's market share. We will look at why a multi-year barrier has officially dissolved and what that means for your portfolio. So let's get right into the data. Right, let's start with our very first question about why is the XRP dominance finally breaking a multi-year trend. So to understand where we are going, we have to look at the macro layout of the market. Here on X, a well-known crypto analyst, MikybullCrypto, shared here a monthly chart tracking XRP's market dominance. Instead of looking at the daily price fluctuations of the token, this specific chart measures XRP's share of the entire cryptocurrency market capitalization. Currently, XRP's dominance stands at precisely 3.124%. Right? There. To the untrained eye, this number might look small, but the underlying structure is incredibly powerful. For years, a persistent descending trend line acted as a heavy lead on XRP's market dominance, capping its potential during previous cycles. However, in late 2024, the bulls did something monumental. They pushed the dominance above this long-term resistance with a large, decisive monthly candle. Now, here's my opinion. I look for structural shifts, not temporary noise. Breaking a multi-year descending line is not an accident. It is a fundamental shift in capital allocation. The fact that XRP's dominance has successfully stayed above this breakout zone rather than falling back beneath it tells me that the floor has permanently moved higher. This is no longer the same asset that was trapped in a downward spiral for years. The foundation has been laid. Now, how is a tightening channel preparing XRP for a big move? Following the major breakout in late 2024, the dominance did not immediately skyrocket to a new all-time highs. Instead, it entered a narrow, downward sloping consolidation channel. Over the past several months, the monthly candles have become progressively smaller, squeezing the trading range into a tight, focused corridors. In technical analysis, this specific setup is known as bullish continuation pattern. Right? When an asset experiences a rapid surge and then enters a tight, orderly consolidation, it behaves like an engine building pressure before the next gear engages. The sellers are gradually exhausting their supply, while the buyers are quietly absorbing every single token. Now, here's my opinion. These tightening ranges are where patience pays off. Many retail traders get bored during these quiet phases and sell their positions right before the breakout happens. But when you look at the structure, the fact that we are holding above the historic breakout area while this channel contracts is highly encouraging. It suggests that the market is preparing for an expansion phase. When the range gets this tight, the eventual breakout is usually swift and aggressive. Now, does the 2017 blueprint point to a massive repeat performance? What makes MikybullCrypto's analysis particularly compelling is a historical comparison. The analyst pointed out a previous section of the chart from a nearly decade ago. In 2017, XRP dominance spent several years trending lower beneath a similar descending resistance line. Once that line finally broke, the market saw a brief sharp pullback as the asset consolidated, right? Immediately following that consolidation, XRP dominance experienced an explosive vertical expansion. The current 2026 setup looks almost identical to that historical pattern. We have the long-term decline right here, the massive breakout candle right here, the current tight consolidation, and now we are waiting for the final resolution. So my personal opinion is that history does not repeat itself perfectly, but it definitely rhymes. The mechanism of liquidity rotations do not change. When capital starts rotating out of overextended majors, inflows into an asset with a clear, verified technical base, the momentum can build incredibly fast. In 2017, the resulting move was historic. While we must always manage risk and avoid assuming a carbon copy of the past, ignoring a repeating structural setup of this scale would be a massive oversight. Now, what is the key technical trigger we must watch next? So where do we go from here? The immediate technical boundary to watch is the upper limit of that similar descending consolidation channel. A decisive monthly close above this short-term resistance line would officially complete the current consolidation phase and signal that the next expansion leg is underway. As long as XRP's market dominance remains above the larger multi-year breakout zone, the overall macro structure remains firmly bullish. The analyst chart here does not focus on a speculative price target, but rather on the sheer scale of the dominance expansion that this pattern typically produces. Now, here's my opinion. My personal opinion is that we are in the final stages of the waiting game. The technical indicators are lining up. The multi-year resistance is gone, and the consolidation is reaching its narrowest point. For anyone observing these markets, the next move beyond this channel's upper resistance will be the ultimate signal. So we need to keep our eyes on the monthly closes, maintain a disciplined approach, and let the market show its hand. Finally, here's our overall conclusion. When we pull back and look at the entire picture, the data presents a very clear thesis. XRP dominance has successfully broken out of a multi-year downtrend, established a higher floor, and is currently consolidating within a highly bullish continuation pattern. The historical precedent from 2017 shows us exactly what can happen when this level of pressure is released. While the short-term market can be slow, the long-term structural setup is pointing to a highly significant transition. The technical foundation is solid, the history is there, and the pattern is tightening by the day. Alright, and this finally ends our video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you on the next one, or you might just as well check this next recommended video right here.